So back in high school, I was a bit of a goofball, but I was also known in some circles as a bit of a nerd. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't like the smartest guy in school by a long shot. I was not going to be even close to valedictorian or anything like that. But when some people needed help on certain assignments and classes that I was good in, I was the one that they came to. And sometimes if they needed answers to some worksheets and stuff like that. Either way, this one day in social studies, we all had to pair up and work on this big assignment. And this project was one of the largest that we were going to be doing all year. Well, this girl named Acacia surprised me because she came up to me and she said, "Barry, would you be my partner?" Now, Acacia, she was going to be valedictorian. That was her goal as soon as she got to high school. She'd been working very hard ever since she got into school. Anyway, I mean, she was one of those try hard smart kids, you know? So I was actually kind of surprised when she came to me and asked me to be her partner, and I asked her, "Why do you want to partner with me? I mean, there are other people in here who will probably do a much better job, or at the very least, like they're a lot smarter than me." She said, "Well, here's the thing. I don't like working with a lot of the other kids in here because they're either control freaks who will try to take control over the entire project, or they're just going to make me do the entire thing, and I know you do your work, and I know you get it done, and you're going to actually contribute. So that's why I want you to be my partner." I was flattered. I was like, "Yeah, okay." I mean, this girl, she was like top of the class, and she's coming to me. I was like, "Yes. Okay, let's do it." So the first assignment that we had to do was we had to write a book report. I don't remember if it was like actually like for some sort of big book that we had to read or if it was for a paper, but either way, we had to basically make our own rendition of what we read. So Acacia writes her story, I write mine. They're about 7 pages long, and at that point what we had to do was she gives her paper to me, I give mine to hers, she takes it home and grades it, I do the same, and then we rewrite it the next day with everything that our partner has fixed, and then we turn it into the teacher. Well, she comes back, she gives me my paper, I show her hers, and we're sitting there marking our stuff, and the next day we turn the papers in. A week later, we get our papers back, and mine was graded, and I got an A on it, and I was like, "Woohoo, thank you so much, Acacia." Acacia walks up to me, and she says, "Barry, do you have my assignment?" And I was like, "Your assignment? I thought we turned it in together. Don't you remember that?" She's like, "Well, yes, that's in my memory. I remember turning it in, but I just went up to the teacher and she didn't give mine back." Now, this was confusing because, like I had said, I thought we turned them in at the same time. It was kind of weird that she didn't have her paper. So we go through my binder, we're checking every flap, trying to find out if maybe I had accidentally kept it and that we could turn it back in. Eventually, we realized this paper is gone, and I was like, "You must have turned it in. There's no way you didn't. I remember you doing it." So we walk up to the teacher. Now, this was my junior year. And I had this teacher, social studies teacher, that I didn't like. She actually was the worst teacher in my opinion. I just did not like her. She was a hard ass and she never gave anyone a break. But either way, we go up to her and we say, "Hey, is there any chance that you lost this?" You know, because we both remember Acacia turning it in. And the teacher looked back at us and basically pinned it on me. She was like, No, I got your paper, Barry, but I did not get Acacia's. So either Acacia didn't turn it in or you didn't give it back to her." And that pissed me off. So I went back to my binder and I'm tearing through it. And again, Acacia and I can't find it. We tear through her binder, it's gone. Acacia had to rewrite this paper and turn it in late. Now, this wouldn't be such a big deal except for this paper being turned in late cost 50% of the grade on this paper, which was now 30% of the entire project, which means this one event was the thing that stopped Acacia from being valedictorian. She held her composure very well, but I saw the defeat and the tears in her eyes. This was her dream, and she knew that this very minute, just because of this situation, that was it. It was over. So junior year passes, senior year passes, and we all graduate and everything is fine. I actually didn't really see Acacia much in high school after that project. We never worked on any projects after that, and I never really saw her around. So she was never on my mind. This event actually was never really on my mind. But I did feel bad because while the valedictorians were up there, I remember thinking Acacia should have been up there. You know, that's not fair. She shouldn't have had to rewrite her paper. I don't know where it went, but that sucks. So it's about 2 weeks after graduation when I look down and I notice that on my floor is this big red binder that I've been carrying around for 3 years. And I'm looking at it like, you know what? It's time to clean that thing out. I've had assignments in there for such a long time. I need to go through them and rip out stuff that I don't want, never need to see again, and stuff that I'd like to keep, to look back on later. So I'm going through the binder, I'm cleaning out everything, and I go into the back flap, the very back flap of my binder, and I pull out this paper. It's 7 pages long, and it's in this handwriting that I'm unfamiliar with. It was just too good for it to be mine. And I'm looking at it confused when I notice at the top, it says Acacia's name. I realized in that moment that this paper was the very paper that Acacia had lost her valedictorianship for. And the entire time, it was in my binder, in the very back flap. I don't know how it got there. Maybe I put it in the very back so that I'd remember it, which was a good plan, obviously. Either way, I'm distraught. I just realized that I was the reason that Acacia never got to be valedictorian. And my heart sank. I was just like, what do I do? Do I not mention it? Do I say nothing? I still had her number from when we were partners in that class. And I just had to reach out. I had to tell the truth. So I sent her a text. I said, hey, Acacia, it's been a long time. I hope you're doing well. Something happened, and I have to tell you. I was looking through my binder, and when I was looking through, I found that paper, the one that you had lost back in our junior year. And I realize now that I'm the reason that your dream of being valedictorian was squashed. It was me the whole time. I wanted to be a good partner to you, and I failed you in a huge way, and I am so sorry. I don't know what I could ever do about it. Like, I'm just so sorry. That text lingered for 2 hours, and I was sitting there. I was actually kind of worried because I know how weird this sounds, but you have no idea how important this was to her. This was her dream, and because of me, it was squashed. So I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, is she trying to like track me down now? Is she gonna show up to my house with a gun and kill me over this? Is she depressed now? Is she crying? Like, what's going on? And so 2 hours later, I get a reply. And the reply says, hey, Barry, that is so funny. Seriously, that day changed me. I was so uptight about high school, I never let myself have any fun. I wanted so hard to be valedictorian that I never just let myself relax. And after that day, I just washed my hands clean of the stress. I didn't worry about it anymore. I got more friends. I hung out after school with people. I just got a tighter community. And honestly, it changed me in a really good way. I'm actually really glad that happened. As much as it sucks, I'm really glad that happened because I wouldn't be the same person that I am now. So in a weird way, thank you. I couldn't believe that happened. I was just flabbergasted. I was like, wow, that is insane. I ruined this girl's chance of being valedictorian, and now she's thanking me for it? That was just nuts. Quite honestly, that is the only time I've ever screwed someone and they thanked me for it.